Why are some players making Bytecoins in pixel worlds while others keep grinding, selling, buying, and somehow staying broke? Most of the time, it is not because they are lazy. It is because they're chasing the wrong items, buying without a plan, and flipping things that nobody actually wants. If you want to make Bytecoins consistently, you need to stop looking for random cheap items and start looking for good target items. Before we get into it, remember I'm doing a 3-letter word giveaway every 100 subscribers. To enter, all you need to do is like the video, subscribe, and comment your Discord username so I can contact you if you win. The biggest reason you are not making Bytecoins yet is because you're probably flipping with no filter. You see something listed cheap in PWE, you buy it, and then you hope someone else pays more. But that is not a real strategy. That is just guessing. A good flip starts before you buy the item. You need to know why the item should sell, who wants it, and whether the price gives you enough room for profit. When I look for target items in PWE, I am not just looking for the cheapest thing on the list. I am looking for items with limited circulation and higher demand. Limited circulation means there are not too many of the item moving around. Maybe it is an old item, an event item, a cosmetic people still want, or something that is not being constantly farmed. Higher demand means players actually care about it. They wear it, collect it, use it, flex it, craft with it, or search for it. That combination is where profit starts. If an item has low circulation but nobody wants it, it can still be hard to sell. And if an item has high demand but endless supply, the price can stay weak because sellers keep undercutting each other. The best target items sit somewhere in the middle. Not too common, not impossible to sell, and wanted enough that buyers actually exist. A lot of players make the mistake of buying dead items just because they are cheap. Cheap does not mean undervalued. Some items are cheap because they have no demand. Nobody is searching for them. Nobody is wearing them. Nobody is using them. And nobody cares. If you buy that item, you might technically get a good deal, but you're stuck holding something that does not move. The question you need to ask before every flip is simple. Who is buying this for me? If you cannot answer that, do not buy it. Maybe collectors are buying it. Maybe rich players want it for a set. Maybe beginners need it for progress. Maybe event players need it for a quest. Maybe fashion players want it because it looks clean, but there has to be a buyer. Without a buyer, you're not investing. You're storing junk. PWE can be useful because it lets you compare prices and spot gaps, but you need to use it properly. Do not just check the lowest listing and assume that is the real value. Look at the range. Look at how many are listed. Look at whether the item has multiple sellers racing to undercut each other. If there are too many copies listed and the price keeps getting pushed lower, that might not be the best target. A better target item is something where the listings are thin. Maybe there are only a few available. Maybe the cheapest one is much lower than the next few listings. Maybe one seller is dumping it because they need fast Bytecoins. That is the kind of situation where a flip can make sense because you're not fighting a wall of sellers. You're buying into an item where supply is limited enough that price movement is possible, but you still need demand. Limited supply alone is not enough. There are plenty of rare items that sit forever because nobody wants them. This is why cosmetics, event items, seasonal items, useful tools, and recognizable items can be better targets than random forgotten items. If players know the item, like the look, or expect it to matter later, it has a stronger chance of selling. Another reason you might not be making Bytecoins is that you're trying to make profit too fast. You buy an item, list it for more, and then panic when it does not sell instantly. Not every flip sells in 5 minutes. Some good flips take time, but there is a difference between patience and being trapped. If an item has demand and limited circulation, waiting can make sense. If an item has no buyers, waiting will not magically fix it. You also need to stop going all in on one item. This is where players lose a lot. They see one item that looks undervalued, buy too many copies, and then realize they cannot sell them fast enough. A smart flipper tests first. Buy one. See how the market reacts. Watch if people are buying. Pay attention to whether sellers undercut you. Once you understand the item better, then you can decide if it is worth buying more. Another big mistake is copying other players too late. By the time everyone is talking about an item, the easy profit might already be gone. If an item is being spammed everywhere as the next big thing, be careful. Sometimes that is real demand, but sometimes that is just hype from people who already bought low and want you to buy higher. The best flips usually happen before the item becomes obvious. If you want to make Bytecoins, build a watch list. Pick a few target items and lure them properly. Do not try to watch the entire economy at once. Choose items with limited circulation, decent demand, and prices that move enough to give you profit. Check them regularly. Learn their normal price range. Learn when they're cheap. Learn when they're overpriced. Once you know an item well, it becomes much easier to spot good deals. This is what separates random flipping from actual trading. Random flipping is buying whatever looks cheap. Actual trading is knowing your target items so well that you can recognize opportunity quickly. When an item appears under its usual range, you know it. When supply gets thin, you know it. When demand is building, you notice it before everyone else. You should also think about timing. Event items can be cheaper right after events when everyone is selling. Seasonal items can be cheaper when nobody is thinking about that season. Useful items can rise when more players need them. Cosmetics can move when they become popular again. Timing matters because you make Bytecoins when you buy before demand fully shows up, not after everyone already rushed in. The safest beginner strategy is to avoid massive risks and focus on clean, realistic flips. Look for items where you can make a smaller profit consistently instead of gambling everything on one giant spike. A small profit repeated over and over is how you build Bytecoins. You do not need every flip to be insane. You need your decisions to make sense. So if you're not making Bytecoins yet, the problem might not be the game. It might be your selection. You're picking items with no demand. You're buying things just because they're cheap. You're not checking circulation. You are not thinking about who the buyer is. And you are reacting emotionally when the item does not sell immediately. The fix is simple, but it takes discipline. Use PWE to find target items, not random items. Look for limited circulation, higher demand, thin listings, recognizable value, and enough price gap to resell. Avoid dead items, hype traps, and markets with too many sellers undercutting each other. And most importantly, learn a few items deeply instead of chasing everything. At the end of the day, Bytecoins come from better decisions. You do not need to be the richest player in pixel worlds to start flipping. You just need to stop buying blindly.